A man sentenced for aggravated robbery and reportedly almost beating an inmate to death. A man accused of using someone else's contractor's license. And the story of a one-man band in St. George.
You're watching St. George News at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Christy Langenheim. A man who reportedly nearly beat another inmate to death while inside the Washington County Purgatory Correctional Facility was sentenced on February 20th. 47-year-old Lazaro Ponce was originally in jail for an aggravated robbery case that took place at Durango's Mexican Grill on June 3rd of 2022. While incarcerated, Ponce beat another inmate until he was unconscious, and the man was rushed to St. George Regional Hospital in critical condition. During the sentencing, Ponce received consecutive terms totaling up to 30 years in Utah State Prison, stemming from the two incidents. After the sentencing, Ponce was loaded onto a bus and transported to the Utah State Prison to begin his time. A 67-year-old St. George man who has an extensive criminal history was accused of using someone else's contractor's license to operate a business. Christopher Edwards had been using the name AEA Builders, but after running the names through the Department of Occupational Licensing, no companies under that name were found. This launched an investigation where detectives found that Edwards had a history of fraud, forgery, and business licensing issues. When the police went to Edwards' home to place him under arrest, he ran inside and slammed the door. Officers then explained that they had a search warrant, and he came out of the house and was taken into custody. Bail was set for Edwards at $5,000, and he was later released that same evening after posting a bond. A lot is going on in southern Utah this weekend, so I'm going to send it over to Sheldon and Amy to give us this week's breakdown.
That's right, great things happening this weekend.
Are you ready to head out to Canada?
Yeah, Docutah has got First Friday. It's a big live music, food, fun for the whole family. Beautiful out there.
And Docutah is back.
One of the biggest film festivals of all time, Docutah in its 15th season, right here this weekend. Get your tickets now. And for a full list of events, see our TGIF listing on stgeorgenews.com.
Now back to you in the studio.
Boom!
That's right, guys. Docutah is here in St. George, and you're not going to want to miss it. Here's Stephanie DeGraw and some of the films you can watch this weekend.
Docutah International Film Festival celebrates the art of documentary film. Many newly released films will be screened at the Sunset Megaplex Theater February 29th through March 2nd. Films range in topics from Downwinder's Cancer with First They Bombed New Mexico to the Texas Music Revolution. Actor Kiefer Sutherland had this to say.
Music can be uplifting, almost like gospel music, and it can be heartbreaking.
Thanks, Stephanie. A St. George artist is taking off after posting videos of his one-man band on social media. Jesse Bang has more of this story and his journey in finding his love for music.
Local artist Noah Deist went viral on social media by performing live looping, the act of going from instrument to instrument while recording each sound and turning himself into a one-man band. After he found himself chasing likes and views, he took a 2-year hiatus from creating to rediscover his love for music.
Music to me has been a way of expressing myself, whether it be something I'm going through in life. It's sometimes a lot easier to sit down and write a song about that than it is to just talk about it with somebody. So oftentimes I'll even say things in songs that I don't often have the confidence to say in person.
His comeback song, Simple Blessings, which he wrote for his wife, just released. The song describes the small things that can often be much more than big vacations or elaborate weddings. He filmed the music video at Dixie Rock in Pioneer Park, one of the first places he and his wife visited before moving to St. George.
Thanks, Jesse. And now over to Candace Seacrest to give us an update on what's going on in local sports.
Well, Christy, high school basketball season is officially over, and the Snow Canyon girls and boys teams went the furthest in the tournament for Region 9, but neither were able to bring home the trophy. Snow Canyon girls made it to the championship game and faced off against the number 1 seed Ridgeline. The Riverhawks were playing some outstanding defense, holding the Warriors to just 3 points in the first quarter. This was the beginning of the end for the Warriors because despite Olivia Hamlin scoring 19 points, it wasn't enough as they lost 58-34. And Snow Canyon boys, on the other hand, were stopped just shy of the state championship by the Cottonwood Colts. Owen Mackey ended the game with a game-high 31 points while all the other Warriors struggled in the scoring column. This game came down to the wire with 13.1 seconds left on the clock, and the Warriors down by 3. Reggie Mackey heaved up a contested 3 that was just short, putting their season to a screeching halt, with the game ending 48-45 for Cottonwood. The Colts then went on to lose in the state championship to the number 1 seed Christian Layton Academy, 58-53. Now back to you, Christy.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. I'm Christy Langenheim with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5.